Okay, could you first display the other activity? If you have it, first display the activity. If you don't have it, I can display it.
Yeah, you display it. I don't have it. Yeah.
Okay, first stop sharing. So this was our activity. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, go through it briefly.
Okay, so the activity was to, so as you can see, I was supposed to make a small presentation about.
Go through it from the start.
Okay, so it says the topic is Introduction to Physical Geography. As you can see, the subject was physical geography, which is supposed to be, this is paper 1, yes, physical geography. And then so my class here, Form 5, and the actually was supposed to take 40 minutes. So the learner is supposed to read the content, links, videos, audios, and images provided in the unit. As you can see the website up here. It's in the course that Yaaka provides in the website.
That's
You're
right.
supposed to use a smartphone or laptop, word processing, PowerPoint, web browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and also an internet connection. So the activity was to search what mind maps are. Yes, I'm supposed to search what mind maps are, then use the content in the unit Introduction to Physical Geography, summarize the content and come up with a mind map on geographic processes. Yes, then I'm supposed to use any of the software which I have mentioned above to make the presentation. Then part 2, I share my screen and discuss my mind map and how I created it. Then there are some videos up here to show me how to search content on the internet and how to screen share. Yes.
That's okay. Hopefully you were well guided.
Yes.
And so today you're ready. So let me stop sharing screen and you take it on.
Okay. Okay, so introducing full screen. So the topic was geography. So first of all, let me first explain the mind map. A mind map is like it's supposed to be like a small brief thing about let me show it to you from internet right here, how a mind map looks like. Let me first turn off this video. Yeah, so here are some brief examples of mind map. So it's just supposed to be a brief, you're supposed to have the main topic in the middle, then I have subtopics on the side like this. It's a common thing, just that probably you don't know its name. I didn't know its name. I thought it was some complicated map. Even it's not even anything like a map. I think that's just its name. Very simple. Okay. You can tell. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm following you.
Okay, then yeah. So it's main topic in the middle, subtopics on the side. Then again, if the subtopics have their own subtopics, again you divide it. You can just. It's very simple to understand. You just have to be organized and show those arrows very well. Okay, so I'm not going to go back to my presentation right here. Let me just open it very fast. Okay, geomorphic processes. So this geomorphic processes, so let me first define what geomorphic processes means. So this is a physical or chemical interaction between the Earth's surface and the natural forces acting upon it, which produce landforms. These landforms can be mountains, water bodies. Yeah, they're anything that is made and it has geography in it. So yes, so then now I'm going to first play this video. This video is just briefly explains, it's about 2 minutes, yeah. Just briefly explains what a mind map is.
It's okay. I can't hear well.
Let me see what the problem could be.
On sharing screen, yes. When you're going to share your screen, there is an option of share. Can you first stop sharing? Then start sharing. Try to go to share screen.
Okay.
Now
I see full sound.
So first select what you want to share up. First
Yes.
click on it. Then down there, select share computer sound and optimize for video.
Okay.
Those options are at the bottom.
Yeah.
Then play your video.
Okay, yeah, so let's move on with that.
In this video, we are going to understand the
I
term
can hear you
geomorphic
well.
process. So to understand this word geomorphic, I'll have to divide this into two parts. The first one is geo, and the second part is morphic. The meaning of the term geo is earth. That's why geography is called as the study of earth. And the meaning of the other term morphic is shape, form, or structure. So if we combine both the term, we get to know that what were the reasons behind the formation of the Earth's surface. So if you see, the Earth's surface is uneven, it is not smooth, it is not plain. So somewhere you'll find uplands, and then there are some places which have lowlands, depression sort of a thing. So geomorphic process tells us about what are the reasons behind that, why the Earth is like that. So basically there are two forces that are the reason behind the unevenness of the Earth's surface. They are, the first one is endogenic forces and the second one is exogenic forces. Let me just make some space so that you can see it more properly. So to understand the word endogenic forces, we have to look at this term endogenic. So in this the word endo stands for internal. So basically endogenic forces are internal. They are those forces that are generated within the Earth's surface. And the term exogenic, if you look at this term exo, this means external or outside. So exogenic forces are those forces that acts on the Earth's surface from outside. So always remember, endo means internal and exo means external. Great. Now that we are done with the definition of the terms, now let's get to know what are these exact forces. Let's make some more space to understand this. So as I said, endogenic forces are internal and they are generated within the Earth's surface. So now the question is, what are these forces? So to understand this, you just have to think first, what happens inside the Earth's surface? Or what happens in the interior of the Earth? So the Earth has different layers. In this mantle, which is just below the crust, is filled with molten rocks known as magma. And magma is continuously moving in circular manner. This movement of magma in the mantle creates convection currents. And this is what causes the plates, which includes oceanic as well as continental crust, to move. Earthquakes are also caused because of this. Then volcanic eruption takes place because of this. So all these are endogenic forces that arises from within. Now the other force, that is the exogenic forces, this acts on Earth's surface from outside. For example, sunlight. It is constantly heating up the Earth's surface. Then we have rain, which is responsible for weathering of rocks. Then we have wind, that takes the soil from one place to another. Then we have ice, glacier. When it melts, it is again responsible for carrying the soil from one place to another. So in a nutshell, we can say the actions of exogenic forces result in wearing down and filling up the Earth's surface. Now I want you to imagine this line as the surface of the Earth, that is the crust. When endogenic forces hits this layer, you can see the changes on outside, in this case, the other side of the line. Similarly, now when exogenic forces hits this line, that changes that you saw due to endogenic forces, those gets weathered down or simply reduces down. And this keeps on happening at a different rate and pace. Due to this timing, this line, which is the Earth's crust, has this bumpy ups and downs that gives it an uneven form. And that's why our Earth's surface is not even. Somewhere you'll find uplands and somewhere you'll see lowlands or depression.
Okay, so that was the brief audio, the brief video that I was going to show you. So moving on now, I'm going to.
You can stop sharing and share again. Remove the other video and audio in case you're not going to display another video.
Okay. Okay.
So there it makes the slide clear, and the other
Yes.
side is for a video. Okay, continue.
Okay, so now I'm going to break it down to make it more detailed and so that you can understand very well what geomorphic processes mean. So from the video, remember it said that geomorphic processes, there are two types of geomorphic processes. This include exogenic processes and endogenic processes. As you can see from the mind map, I've now put the arrows to show you how. So this is how a mind map actually is supposed to be. I put some pictures on the side. You can see this side of the volcano, where you can see the volcano picture. I put endogenic because that's an external process. Then this side, this other side, that's a fold mountain. Then you and you can see on top it says endogenic because that's an internal process. Yes. So now I'm going to start with this is how it's supposed to be the full thing when I'm done with it. But I'm not yet done. I'm just starting. So where you can see the exogenic processes.
Yeah, I'm following.
So where you can see the exogenic processes, these are on the left side, you can see like it's divided into geodational processes and aggregational processes. So you can see aggregational processes, this is like it is dealing with aggregates, stones, those kind of things, deposits, materials moving from one place to another. So this can be through erosion, erosion, mass wasting, whether in those processes you're seeing there. And then also for the geodational processes up here, you can see we have a wave action of glaciation. Now, glaciation occurs in where there's a lot of ice, where temperatures are below freezing point. And then, that is I'm going to explain that in just a second. Then on the right side, we have endogenic processes. These ones occur externally on the top of the they occur internally in the endogenic, internally below the Earth's surface or crust. We have epirogenic, which is volcanicity, warping, those type of forces. I'm going to explain them. Then below we have the astrophic processes. These include folding, faulting. I'm going to explain those in detail. So I'm going to start with the geomorphic processes, which are dealing with endogenic, which are endogenic. So this one just here as a brief definition of that. These are processes that originate from within the Earth's crust or below the Earth's surface. Yes, as you can see, this is just a small illustration of what is inside the Earth. We have the crust, the mantle, the core, the outer core, and the inner core. Yes. So that's just to show you what that is. Then now we move on. So it's divided. These endogenic processes are divided again into two processes. We have the epirogenic processes and the astrophic processes. So let me explain first the top one, the epirogenic forces. These operate vertically upwards, like they just go upwards and downwards, like up and down. That's like how you can understand that very, very, very basically. So these forces can be, we have these things like faulting, wrapping and volcanicity, as you can see there. So volcanicity is a movement of molten igneous material from the Earth's interior towards the Earth's surface. Molten, this is magma, lava, those things. So usually it's cause when pressure builds up below the Earth in the mantle. Yeah, it looks for that place where it can exert pressure at a low force, and then it will exert the pressure there, and then it will come out like through a vent, and then this will cause. So when this molten rock is below the Earth, it's called magma, and then when it comes out of the Earth, it's called lava. So the magma will come out and become lava, harden, and then form a mountain, as you can see down here. This is a volcanic mountain that's just erupted, and yeah, that's the smoke from the magma, from the lava. Sorry. Then warping is the deformation of the Earth by uneven upward or downward movement, uneven upward. So now to explain that one very fast, warping is like whereby, let's say, like now you see how folding applies. Folding, like maybe two tectonic plates come and hit each other, then the force there, it causes that uneven upward movement. You can see the mountains from vaulting there. They're usually they're not like straight. It's not like a flat piece of land. It's not a plateau. It's rugged. It's a rugged terrain. Yeah, it's up and down. So it's uneven upward and downward movement. Now and then the astrophic forces. These are forces that originate from left to right or east to west. They just move horizontally, basically, left to right. Yeah. So the other ones operate vertically up and down. Things are operate left to right or east and west. So these include faulting, folding. Yeah, so for faulting, this one is a common definition. It's a breaking out breaking or fracturing of rocks involving the displacement of rocks. Sorry, this was supposed to be on. Sorry, forgive me for that. It's supposed to be on the other side of the fracture of fault. That is the A-level definition. That is a bit complex, not that and for O level, where it's very brief and precise. So it's a breaking or fracturing of rocks involving. So now to add more to that, faulting basically it's where, let's say like you have a certain piece of land. I wish I put in some illustration. I'm sorry for that. It's like now this faulting, it's again broken down. I should have actually integrated that. It's again broken down into two processes. This is a compressional and additional.
No, it is okay. You can go ahead, break it just by describing them. Just describe them.
Okay, so here the earth. Let us just imagine a small piece of land that's being acted upon by tensional forces. Tensional forces act from left to right. They go in opposite direction away from each other. Compression, you're compressing, so they go in the same direction. Then the other one goes opposite. So tension is opposite. So this will cause fault lines. Now these fault lines they are normal faults. We have reverse faults and normal faults. So these are the normal faults. They are basically just like this. Normal faults, like the shape of a mountain. Yeah, they're normal faults. Now these faults will occur then after. Next thing is they keep on moving, the side blocks will sink and then they will leave the middle block where it is. And then this will just form the shape of the mountain. And then these other processes like mass wasting, erosion will then shape the edges and make them smooth and make them look like a mountain. But this process occurs over a long period of time. It's not very fast, like I have explained it. Then done for compression, it will again compress. And then when it compresses, the middle block, it will cause the middle block to go upward, to form the mountain, to form the fault mountain. But then these faults will be reverse faults. They'll go like this, reverse faults. Then after again processes like erosion, mass wasting, those things will again come and shape the edges of the earth and make them smooth and form a fault mountain. Then folding is the slow, steady breaking of rocks in the earth's crust. Folding is caused by only one process. This is when tectonic plates come and meet each other. Tectonic plates come and meet each other. So they will collide. Then when they collide, they will again keep exerting their force. Because convectional currents under the earth, because that's actually what causes the place to move. Convectional currents, yes. When the lava is moving, like it's driving the tectonic plates on top. So they will knock each other, hit each other, then they'll keep on doing that, and they'll just keep on crashing.
Can I interrupt you a bit?
Yes, please.
Did you watch when Nyiramongo was erupting?
Yes.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Yes, so I was saying fault mountains, yes. So the force will continue bending the earth, bending the crust, forming these uneven edges and bumps. Yeah, basically that's called the rugged terrain. Yes, so let me now move on to the other process, other geomorphic process. This is the exogenic processes. Exogenic. So remember, endogenic. These ones occur inside within the earth's crust. Endogenic. Then exogenic occur on top of the earth's crust. So these include geodational processes and accredational processes. So the geodational processes is the destruction or removal. This means wearing down of the landscape by work of weathering, mass wasting, and erosion. Those processes are those which are categorized under the geodational processes. So now erosion, that one is it's not a new thing. Erosion, like the way you hear it, whereby water comes and this is like a slope. It has to be some sort of slope which has poor drainage. That's where erosion come and take over where materials go. It always goes to the lower side, of course, gravity pushes and it is actually moving, driving that force. Now, to divide the erosional forces, we have wave action and glaciation. Yes, those two processes. So glaciation is the process. Let me start with wave action system. The top wave action is the evolution of the coast as it acts under the influence of waves. So let me now explain that briefly. Let me try and make that a bit detailed. So this process is with erosion, with action now. Let me tell you now. So with action, these are different. There are many processes under wave action. With erosion, it's to create physical features like boreholes, cliffs. You have seen cliffs, headlands, those things like that. So I want to just briefly tell you like something extra under wave action. So wave action now wave action it's under coastal geomorphology. So coastal geomorphology, this is just a geographic processes that occur at coast where there's water and like an ocean, any source, any water body at the coast. Yeah, those processes. So there's abrasion, hydraulic action, corrosion, those things, they form cliffs, boreholes, those things like that. Yeah, so I'm not going to explain under that, but I'm just trying to explain brief, yeah.
Yeah, it is okay. When we reach on that topic, we shall fully discuss them. It's okay. There you have highlighted about them. They are under coastal geomorphology, and we haven't reached there. But when we reach there, you will be able to explain all of them. Yes.
Okay, gravitational processes. Yeah, the other subtopic under it's already processes. So this is how a mind map is made. So you have to just keep dividing the subtopics. Very well organized, and you should have a small definition. So aggregational processes. This is a process of deposition of materials by a river, stream, or current. A river, stream, or current. So it has to be some sort of moving water body. Yes. So you can see here, a river moves, of course, a river. If the water is in one place, it's not a river, it's like a lake or something. So just to be a moving water body, a stream or a current. So aggregation. So basically materials such as stones, maybe branches from plants, those things, they are carried by these moving water bodies, and then they are deposited somewhere else. So now the movement of that kind of movement, it can again form another type of water body. Because remember, you're now carrying material from a place, putting it in somewhere else. So that what you're carrying, what that place where you're changing, that place where it's being changed, where the material is coming from, is being transformed into another physical feature. Yeah, so now to explain those processes that are under aggregational processes, we have erosion, weathering, and mass wasting. Actually, I think I'm seeing.
Extend clearly your microphone so that I can hear you well.
All right, so now I'm saying that so under these aggregational processes, we have erosion, weathering, and mass wasting. Now, erosion, I explained earlier, it's a removal and wearing away of land by natural agents of rivers, waves, wind, glaciers, ice sheets, and tidal currents. Tidal currents, these are currents that occur near the coast, exactly at the coast. There are these currents which come, basically wind is forcing the water to move. So that is what they call tidal currents. So then weathering is the physical disintegration and chemical decomposition of rocks at the surface of the earth. Yes, at the surface of the earth. Yes, let's ignore that mistake. Yeah, the surface of the earth. So weathering, there's physical weathering and chemical weathering. Then again, physical weathering can be due to plants, due to animals. Yes, I'm not going to go through that because it's such a lot of what we're talking about right now. Then mass wasting at the bottom here. This is the downslope movement of material, mass wasting. So yes, downslope movement of material under the influence of gravitational force without the assistance of any agent. Yes. So now now by any agent, this can be water, wind, what? So nothing. So those things must not be driving the materials down. It should just be gravity. Basically the place should be steep, maybe too smooth, and then the material should just be taken by gravity. That is what they call mass wasting. So these things are usually done by landslides, where the place is too steep, and then again the land cannot hold itself. So it just causes gravity to just come and swipe the whole place and cause a landslide. Yes. So maybe if an earthquake causes a landslide, that's not mass wasting. That's now earthquakes that is causing that sort of thing there. Yeah. So that's my last slide actually. I've been too brief. Should have explained further, but that's my last slide. So yeah, that's why I want to stop for now.
Yes, thank you very much. It was really massive. I liked it. And it was okay. It was well elaborate. You really explained very well your mind map. Could you please display your site? Go to yaaka.cc and log into your account.
Oh,
There are
my
some
account.
things I would like, yes. So after you share screen,
Okay, let me open it here. So, sir, I think we can now turn off the YouTube light.